Did you do anything courageous, anything worth mentioning, anything to be prideful of? If you're a man at home with your family and wife doesn't have the kids, you both are together, so we as the team have the kids, you should still be pursuing shit that none of your fathers probably ever did. He's doing for her. Oh yeah, we never stop with the roadmap galaxies, the galaxy roadmaps. You know what I'm saying? Woo! Always looking the best. Never put me to the test. So, what are we talking about tonight? And yeah, it's tonight. It's not daytime because I'm not a day owl. I'm a night owl. Maybe a vampire. Never tire. Always call me sire. But what are we talking about today? We're talking about Ben Hart. Cut his daughter out of his will the way you might cut a poisonous finger off of your hand. Now, why did he do it? That's a good question. See, Ben Hart, if you don't know, he's a trader of crypto coin. And he's a little bit of a genius, must I say. He had his daughter, I guess maybe like 25, 26 years ago. I don't know how old she is. But he had his daughter before Bitcoin was a thing. And he made his money before Bitcoin was a thing. But when Bitcoin hit, he jumped on that shit and made a ton of money. He likes to promote that because he sees that as being a way of freedom and a way that you can have your money safe from the government and travel all around the world without fear of confiscation, which is all true, by the way. So, what's this news with his daughter? If you haven't heard of Ben Hart, he goes by Benny Hanna, right? And Ben Hart. His YouTube channel is Ben Hart. Go give the man a follow. Smart guy. Has a very interesting cadence when he talks, but some of you might really like it. So, if you haven't been following the drama, his daughter, one of, I believe, 4 siblings, so she has 3 other siblings. She put out some TikTok that went viral and hit like 8 million views in like a couple days or some shit. And basically she was accusing him of not being a good dad. Not being a terrible dad, but being a bit of an absentee father who left the family to pursue breakdancing. That was her narrative on it. And boy, is that a good narrative for TikTok. See, the way TikTok works is that you take something that is interesting and you just give the most juicy facts of it in like 30 seconds or less, right? So what that looks like is absentee dad leaves family for breakdancing career. And she shows him breakdancing and shit like that. Says he doesn't pay medical bills, stuff like that, right? And so people are like, oh wow, he really can't breakdance. How old is he? He's like 70? That's crazy. But he also left his family so he can go do that? Also crazy. Turns out that's not exactly the case. He got divorced as what? 50-something% of marriages do. So he had a typical Western marriage. Let me emphasize the word Western, okay? He had a typical Western marriage. Went south. Wife got the kids for whatever reason, right? And so he lived life as one would do if the kids don't stay with you. And, you know, he spent time visiting them and doing stuff like that, but he obviously pursued other things as a man should. Look, if you're a man at home with your family and wife doesn't have the kids, you both are together, so we as the team have the kids, you should still be pursuing shit. So if you break up with your wife and she ends up with the kids, you should definitely be pursuing shit because you know what? You need yourself new women in your life and maybe even new kids. And that's going to take new money. Not only did he pay medical bills and shit like that, right? But he also gave her mom like 1 point something million out the gate and then several million over the time where, you know, the kids had to grow up and hit 18 for him to stop paying child support. So he did a lot. So most Americans will never see $1 million in their entire life. You're born, you're 0 years old, maybe 1. You die, you're like 78 or some shit. The whole time, you'll never see $1 million. Most likely, statistically speaking, right? Unless you follow this channel and decide not to be another statistic. The point is that when he got divorced, this man has traveled the world and made enough of himself that he could give his ex-wife like 1.2, 1.8 million at the moment of divorce in a lump sum. So if you tell me chicks aren't incentivized to divorce, you're out of your fucking mind. So this chick, just because she was with this man who was way smarter than her, way more charismatic, and a way better person than her, upon split, gets like $2 million-ish, right? What a deal. Tell me I'm wrong. So not only does she get twice as much money as you'll ever see at once in your life, she gets it immediately at that time. She goes on to raise the kids with his help, being as involved as he can while he's out pursuing the world and, of course, meeting other women and eventually marrying another woman. I believe he did. But he's in their life, you know. There's videos of him, like, at their graduations, taking them on the cool trips. Like, I think I saw some shit of them skiing. They were at the beach. They're just having a good time. He's talking to her about, her name's Maddie, by the way. So he's talking to Maddie about her YouTube, and she's saying she wants to be partnered and all this cute, beautiful stuff that none of your fathers probably ever did. He's doing for her. So after having the near perfect father, divorce aside, right? She grows up and decides that she's going to start dogging him. She's just going to say all sorts of crazy shit. Like he was absentee, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? And so he took some of this shit and he made a couple response videos in a very upbeat, entertaining manner. If he was a jackass about it, you couldn't blame him. But he was very charismatic and had a nice light sense of humor with it. So you definitely can't blame him. So despite all this, she continues down this pathway and she even starts attacking her mother. So when she was attacking her dad, her mom thought this shit was kind of funny. Typical Western female, right? Then the tables turn and she's like, well, you know what? I don't like my mom either. She's a goddamn Christian. Fuck Christians. She has a real fuck Christian kind of attitude. So fuck Christians, fuck my mom, fuck Muslims, but especially fuck my mom. So she starts making these videos that target her mom, talking about how she walked in on her mom in the shower with one of her boyfriends after the dad divorced. How her mom couldn't keep her man because she was in credit card debt. Bitches be wild, dude. I'm telling you, if a chick doesn't have a man in her life, she will get things all fucked up. Can you imagine getting $2 million in a lump sum plus more than $18,000 a month and then having debt to anyone, let alone enough credit card debt that men that you date don't want to date you anymore? How much of a fuck up would you have to be? Like, I'm just putting that out there for food of thought, as they say. But she's telling this shit in like little tiny comedy coves in LA where there's like 15, 20 people in the audience, like nobody's showing up for her shit. She's not funny. But she's telling it to whoever will fucking listen. And even though her mom thought it was funny when she laughed at her dad, Ben, even though he's a fun guy, he's definitely still a kid at heart. Let's be real, right? The man still is breakdancing and he's like almost 80 or something. He didn't think it was funny that she was making fun of her mom and her Christianity and her conservative values. So her mom thought it was funny when she was being a shit pal to her dad. But the dad doesn't think it's funny when she's being a shit pal to her mom, despite her mom thinking it was funny first. That shows a level of maturity in this man that you don't find in most people, but yeah, that's something in itself, right? So she's doing all this gay parade type stuff, the alphabet parades, and I won't call it PRIDE because it's not PRIDE. Since wouldn't anybody at a PRIDE quote parade do anything to be prideful of? I mean, did you storm Normandy, motherfucker? Huh? Did you come up with Tesla, Microsoft? Did you invent anything amazing? Are you a strong fireman who carried children and women and unconscious men out of burning buildings? Did you do anything courageous, anything worth mentioning, anything to be prideful of? You just on Twitter hashtagging shit. Fuck up out of here. So they're gay parades. That's it. And it's not even a whole month that they get, because they don't get anything. It's one mediocre country on the face of the planet that lets this crazy group of people name anything. That's hardly anything, okay? So no, they don't get a whole month. There's a group of mentally disabled people who like to really fuck up more than usual for 30 days. Soundbite that shit. Send that shit over to Matt Walsh, man. So she goes to the gay parades and she's like, oh yeah, gay pride, fuck my mom, basically. I used to be Christian and bigotry too, and now I'm not. Now I'm out here with my titties out. Not that she really has any. Now I'm out here being a degenerate. Now I'm out here pushing children to take irreversible pills and go through irreversible surgeries. Now I'm a great person and you should be too. Well, the fact is, she's shit. So, her dad put out a video today that said he's cutting her out the fucking wheel. Round of fucking applause. He goes on to say a lot of what I've already told you, and I'll link the video so that you can check it out. But long story short is that he's tried to make her a better person, and she's not gonna. He still believes she's relatively intelligent, and she is relatively intelligent in an attention-getting field manner, right? She couldn't put together Tesla or run a decent business, okay? So intelligent sometimes has its categories and oftentimes has its scopes. She's reasonably intelligent as far as the ability to get attention and knowing who to pander to and how to get eyeballs on the things that she says, right? Sorry, Ben, I gotta just be real with you. Your daughter ain't that smart. She's kind of a dumbass. I think you know that, which is why she's losing an inheritance and a trust. Can you imagine losing an inheritance and a trust just because you're a fucking moron? So he says he's cutting her out of it, not because he doesn't love her. In fact, he still says he loves his daughter more than I would say if I had some gay daughter running around saying crazy shit. But the reason he's doing it is because he refuses to, as he says, subsidize the kind of shit she's putting out on the internet. He's not going to sponsor some chick trashing their parents and him, who did more for her than her mom ever, and their way of life. She's trashing a family legacy. She's trashing a great man, a cool dad, and a millionaire who would be there if she actually had some kind of a business sense. If she went to him with a great business idea and was like, Dad, maybe we could do this together, or maybe you could help me do it, he'd fucking be on board. And you would have to very much try hard to convince me otherwise. But she won't. She knows what she wants to do, and that's make inflammatory TikToks to her parents. One of whom might deserve it, the other one who definitely doesn't. But still, it's your parents anyway, so why don't you just make content about other shit? But if she's not making inflammatory TikToks about her parents, she wants to pander to the gay community, the LGBT alphabet, because, well, she wants to do Hollywood stuff, long story short, and that's whose ass you need to kiss. Hell, even social media, that's an ass that you might consider kissing. Do you know how many times I run into problems with accounts and their longevity or disputing bans and shit because I've had strong feelings to say about the gay community? And I'll say it right now in this video. You will be, for the rest of your life, whatever gender you are born. Because there's only two, you dumb motherfuckers. Is what it is. 750 delusional people, 0. 750 billion years, that is, by the way. So, he cut her out the will. He's not gonna sponsor bad content and wrong content and inaccurate information. She has three other siblings, I believe. I believe she's the fourth one, who will be benefiting from being good family members, presumably. But yeah, Ben Hart cut her the fuck out, as he should have. Good for him. Keep his money in the family with family members who appreciate him. And yeah, she's out on the street toast, man. She's gonna have to hope that her not funny jokes keep paying the bills, or who knows, start paying the bills, because apparently she still asks for money here and there. Anyways, God Connecticut out. As long as you're watching videos, I'll keep making them. Make sure you subscribe, like, do all this shit. Do I have to run the ad? Fuck you, I'm running the ad. Hey, what's up, motherfuckers? Are you broke? Are you not broke? Are you broker than a joke? Are you doing good? Are you not doing good in life? Well, this YouTube channel's for you. God Connecticut, the host, owner, and badass mofo of GG Straight Up. Looking good in the neighborhood as always. Welcome to the YouTube channel. I'd like to give a shout out to myself for today's sponsor. Now, I want to ask everybody watching this real quick, very, very brief question. How much did you pay to watch this video? Oh, really? You don't say. Oh? That's absolutely amazing. Well, since you got in on this video at that low price, how about you do what you can to show a little love and support? Hit the subscribe button right now. Just smack it in the face like somebody told you your girlfriend's fat. Only if she isn't fat. If she is fat, just like nod and agree, and then get her on some, weight loss pills and a treadmill. Get her a gym membership. Can't be walking around no fat hoes. Okay? No fat sloots. Anyways, go ahead, like, subscribe, do all that stuff, show some love. Now back to the video. That's a cool ad though, right? Shot it myself. But there's one thing I want you guys to remember. One thing that Maddie did not remember is that no matter what happens in your life, no matter what you believe, and no matter if you decide to pander, just remember, never go full retard.
Everybody knows you never go full retard.